Hi everyone, fabulous treat today. We're on the road up towards Oxenhope, so just the Halifax side of Denham, and this what originally was an old barn. So it's an old barn conversion, probably mid 19th century original construction, attached to the end of this farm. So it now forms 3 cottages. We're looking at this end one here. You can see the character before we go in, but you're going to be surprised with the size. It certainly doesn't look anything like the size it is. So there's an electrically operated gate for the 3 properties, and sweep down the driveway here. And we'll come to the parking in a few minutes, because we do have a couple of parking spaces where you can see that white camper van, and then we have an enclosure there surrounded by the hedges, and then we have a double garage as well. But let's have a look inside first, because it's such a wonderful place, this, and as I said before, it's so much bigger than you perhaps thinking it might be. You're noticing the wood effect UPVC double glazing with the stonework around it. Just such a fabulous old property. So we're coming to the first entrance hall. So I say the first entrance hall. This is the one that kind of introduces you to the house, brings you in out of the cold. We've got a nice cloaks cupboard there, really helpful, useful, and we've got a downstairs toilet in here. So wash basin at that side, toilet at the other side, nice and neat, but quite a nice wide space, as you can see. Nice wide door too. So nice and useful. But then this doorway leads through to the inner hallway, and this is the bigger part of this hallway, and I think what that does is it creates this little pocket. So the outside's in there, and we've got this nice inner hallway with the turning staircase and the access through to each of the rooms. Let's start in the living room, and these double doors sweep open to this nice big living room, and you can see there we've got the log burner going. It's a great feature, that, as well, isn't it? Dual aspect room, as you can see, with the windows to the side of the chimney, of the fireplace, and out to the front there. But it's just such a good size, but it still feels homely and cozy, and that's not in small part down to the log burner. And you can see what sort of size it is. This suite's just absolutely huge. The arms are really, really wide, and yet there's still plenty of space, isn't there? Now I've just taken a step through this square archway into the dining room, and again you can see here there's plenty of room for a dining table and for other furniture as well, and nice and easy to walk around. Plenty of space and plenty of room here to get around. Hatch through to the kitchen, which I think could be really useful in a house like this. You don't want to bring things through the living room perhaps, so you just pop them through the hatchway there. Really, really good. Okay, so those are the 2 good sized reception rooms down here. I'm going to open these doors back up because I absolutely love how that looks when I'm coming out. And into the kitchen. So the kitchen again is a good size, and I'm probably going to be saying that a little too often walking around the house, so please forgive me if I do. But we've got a really nice range of units here lining both sides of the kitchen. That big gas range, which is fabulous, 7 gas burners on the top. We've got the twin ovens, the grill and the plate warmer. Then on this side we have the sink unit. There's the washing machine in here, although it would go in the pantry, which I'll come to in a second. And then we have a dishwasher, a fridge and a freezer all built in there as well. The side of that hatch, and you can see the downlighters, which are just add that little bit of character, especially in the winter. Nice big pantry, and it is a big pantry. But as you can see from where that second freezer is there, you might not be able to see, but there is plumbing behind there, so the washing machine could go in there. And the dryer, which is in the cloaks cupboard in the entrance hall, perhaps could sit above it. So if you wanted to, you could have that as a little utility area at the back of there as well. This goes out to the back of the house. We're not going to go out there just now. We're going to go upstairs first and then come and have a look outside. I think outside will surprise you as well, by the way. So let's take a turn up the staircase, and similar to downstairs really, we have this big hallway landing, of course, but upper hallway, or the dance floor as we like to call it. Let's take the rooms as we come to them, shall we? And we'll start here with the third bedroom on this level. This is the smallest of the bedrooms on this floor. It's used as a study, as you can tell, but easily fit a double bed in there with bedside tables, and no danger of that, very easily. And then it narrows to this side behind the door. You can see space for a wardrobe there, or maybe a chance to build some units in. Get a fab view from up here, particularly these upper floors, and you're looking out across the countryside here. So that's the smaller of the rooms on this level. If I go straight across the landing, we get to the bathroom, and the bathrooms are a good size as well. This 3-piece suite, but there's easily room to rearrange and do more with it if you wanted to. This is a touch sensitive light, so we've got a little sensor on the side there, demisting. You can see tiled floor, tiled wall, partly tiled wall, let's say, and the shower over the bath there. But as I say, if you did decide you wanted a separate shower, I think you could reconfigure this relatively easily. Nice big towel and linen cupboard here as well. The old airing cupboard, as would have been a long time ago, of course, before the gas boiler went in. And it is quite deep and quite a good size. Now then, shall we go left or right? Let's go right to start with. And this is what we're calling bedroom 2. Not really much in this than bedroom 1, but bedroom 1 at the front there has the ensuite. These units not built in, but really quite large wardrobes, aren't they? You can see the size of that, and yet there's still plenty of space in here. And again, we have that view out of the windows across the countryside there. Such a lovely spot up here, it really is. Okay, and then let's go into the bedroom at the front here. As I say, I'm calling this bedroom 1. This time we have twin beds in here, but with a big gap between them. As you can tell, much more room if you were to put a decent double in, or even a king size bed, and plenty of room for wardrobes down that side again. And we have a decent view through the houses off into the distance there as well. A little bit misty today, but such a nice aspect, as I'm sure you'll agree. And then, as I mentioned, that the bathrooms are a good size, we have this shower room here, which is, as an ensuite shower room, I think probably double the size of most ensuite shower rooms. So we have a corner shower enclosure, toilet wash basin. Again, we've got another touch sensitive light with a demisting facility. And then we're going to go upstairs again. Now, this staircase does not comply with building regulations, and so you know, if you wanted to formalise the bedrooms upstairs, you would change this staircase, which I don't think would be such a tremendous job to do, such a big job to do, but still we have this fabulous space up here. The bookshelving, useful space off to this side, but then we have the landing with some wardrobes in here, and then this, let's call it an occasional bedroom or whatever you want to use it for. It's such a great space. Again, we've got a single bed up here this time, but we've got the Velux and we've got the gable window as well. And certainly it's big enough for a double bed in here, isn't it? Look at the beams as well. Big stout beams and a nice shaped ceiling. Just add that character that we all love in these sorts of houses. And then across the landing we have the last of the rooms. Would make a great study, but would certainly fit a bed, a single bed down that side, no bigger than a single bed, but with perhaps some drawers at one side, and then there is room for wardrobing or whatever, drawers or whatever in here. The eaves access is here, and you can get in and go around. It's wood panelled, it's got some flooring down as well, so it's a really useful space, but the wood panelling just boxes it in a little bit, makes it a little bit more formal, I think. So that's a really useful space, particularly for use as storage. And that's the inside. A little surprised? I promised you'd be surprised by the size of it. Anybody who didn't have a sneak peek at the floor plan and the photographs will be, I'm sure, pleasantly surprised by the size of the house. But we're not finished there, because outside we have plenty of parking and that big garden space as well. So let's go and have a look and see what we have out there, shall we? So we come out the back door and we have this nice big parking area. So where the white van is, we have 2 parking spaces in there, and then we have this enclosed patio come parking area, whatever you want to use it as really. But you would easily get, you know, anybody with maybe a caravan or a boat or a trailer or a big van, or even a couple of cars, or even just leave it as a nice big patio area, you know, your barbecue area or whatever. Because when we look around, you know, we do have quite a lot of space here. As I mentioned, 2 spaces there, get a couple of cars in there, but then we have these where my car is, and then the double garage, light power, twin up and over doors, and around the back of there we have a timber shed, log store, you know, wood store for the wood burner, that sort of thing. However, let's have a little peek down here, because we come down these few steps, we close this gate, and we have a nice enclosed garden. And look at this for a garden. So a lot of people say to me, but Darren, we want a nice family garden. We want a bit of extra space outside. Well, you would certainly have it here, no question of that. There's a little pond in the middle of this pebbled area here. You can see the trees. We've got some fruit trees in here too. And we've got this big area of lawn, and I can see kids kicking a ball around in here and running around, and I can actually see kids hiding from each other in here. So it's a big space, isn't it? And again, you know, from here we've got the fields off in the distance there. This is more or less south facing as well, so you know you're going to get plenty of sunshine here, but whatever direction it faces, you know, we do have this big expanse of space for the sun to get to. So if you're looking for a good family home, if you'd like something with a nice big garden, plenty of parking, modern fittings but with that traditional feel, you can't go far wrong here. It's such a wonderful place and it's such a nice feel about it. It's one of those places where I walk in and I feel like I want to stay there. Certainly didn't want to leave that living room with those flames going. So if this is your sort of thing, come and have a look. I think you're going to be very pleasantly surprised.